everybody, my name is Amanda and welcome back to another video. I am currently studying a Masters in Children's Literature at Cambridge University, and today I want to talk a little bit about the differences between undergrad and masters, because I'm guessing that a lot of you guys are thinking about if you want to start a masters for next year, and the applications might be far away, they might be coming up soon. So I thought that I would just share the good things and the bad things that I've noticed that really is different from an undergrad. And I want to say that I have and I should probably say that I have corroborated all of these things with a friend of mine that did her undergrad at Glasgow as well and continued to do her masters at Glasgow. So because I know that all institutions do things a little bit differently, but I've asked a few different sources, so let's get going. And I guess the first question that people will ask is about workload, and if it's heavier, if it's not, whatever. And it's a difficult thing to say, I think. And I think the first thing to say is that I have found the workload consistently higher than in undergrad. And I think on a week-to-week basis there is just a higher volume of things to read. But the type of workload is different. And I think that you just have to take more responsibility for your own work, because you are left to more independent study throughout, which has its upsides and its downsides as well, because you are given the responsibility and you can kind of tailor the work to your own interest, because that's, I think, at the core of the masters, is that it gives you the opportunity to pursue your research interests to a larger degree than undergrad does. So although you have more work to do, it's more focused work, and it's work that you've chosen to do. And I think different universities have different ways of assessing things. Cambridge doesn't have a lot of assessments, but I know that my friend back in Glasgow has a few more assignments than I do, but we do have a lot of reading on a weekly basis, and it definitely keeps us busy. What I have also noticed with that responsibility is that sometimes you just have to seek out the information on your own more, because you might have to ask, like, answers will be given to you, but you need to know what questions to ask, and that is more upon you than it is for the structures of the institution to kind of tell you what to ask. You have to formulate those questions yourself. I think one thing that I have struggled with, and that the master so far has taught me, is to prioritize differently, because I have always been one of those people who wants to read everything to my own detriment, because I need to feel prepared, and I get quite anxious if I don't feel like I have done all the reading and that type of thing. And sometimes there's just too much reading, and I have had to learn to prioritize which readings not to do, which ones to skim, and still being able to work with the information that I have in a better way. And I think that's a really useful skill that masters have taught me more than undergrad, because the workload was more manageable in undergrad. So having to be comfortable with not doing all the reading and being able to discern what reading is the most valuable, I think, is a really great research skill that masters introduces more than undergrad. Another thing is that I feel completely differently involved with academia than I did in undergrad, because you feel very much a student when you do your undergrad, and I'm still a student, 100% still a student, but being able to attend conferences or being able to pursue more independent research and being expected to pursue more independent research gives you a different status within the university, within the faculty that you're working within. And it might sound obvious, but you're seen as a graduate and not an undergraduate, and that kind of changes the way people interact with your work, and also the way you interact with the institution and the research and the lectures and everything. That might sound a little bit vague, but I think it's just that I think that on a graduate level you are more involved with the academic community more than just a learner, because you're seen as more of a contributor, I suppose I'm trying to get to. Like, I live in a graduate college, and I'm sure the Cambridge college system is different from many of the universities, and I interact mostly with postgrad students, and it feels very nice that everyone is done with the university experience, in that sense that we are all kind of getting down to business, if that makes sense. But we all love going out for a pint when we can and everything like that, but I think there's just a different spirit, and people in your surroundings are really passionate about their work mostly. I wouldn't pursue a master's unless you're really interested in the subject, and it's noticeable in the people that are around you, that they are dedicated to the work that they do. So whilst I think that like when you're an undergrad you can't really think of another experience of university than undergrad, masters is completely different in how it feels to be a student. And it, again, that sounds really vague and strange, I suppose, but it's just the idea of your position within academia and your relationship to the work that you do and to your peers around you. And I think a master's is a great opportunity to really get to delve deeper into something that you're really passionate about or really interested in. So I think to sum it up, it's basically a huge move to more responsibility, more independence, and everything good and bad that comes with that. So I think that was kind of all the things that has sprung at me so far. I'm obviously just one semester in. Just kind of wanted to share my ideas before you guys go out and make your applications, because there is a lot to consider. It's the money, it's the time, it's the workload and everything. But I think a master's is really worth it if it's something that you're interested in. I will also be in the comment to answer any questions that you might have about masters so far. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye.